Ballots in a key swing state are targeted and destroyed. We'll explain how it happened.
With no rain in almost a month, Texas is seeing its driest season of the new decade.
And find out how this girl will lend a helping paw on campus.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Grace Grimes.
And I'm Grace Escobar. With just 12 days left until the 2024 election, early voting is off to a rapid start across the country, including right here in Denton County.
We set an early voting record on Monday, which was the first day that people could cast their ballots in Texas. Nearly 51,000 people in Denton County voted that day. Another 43,000 people voted the next day on Tuesday. That total is more than 20% of the number of Denton County voters who cast ballots in the 2020 presidential race. If you want to vote early, you can do so until next Friday, November 1st.
And Grace, Texas is about to be front and center in the race for president.
Yeah, that's right. With both Donald Trump and Kamala Harris planning to come to the Lone Star State tomorrow, our very own Ben Wolf is here to tell us all about it and the latest on the efforts to keep the 2024 election secure.
Thanks, guys. Authorities say more than a dozen electoral ballots were damaged in an act of arson this morning in Phoenix, Arizona. With the early voting underway, many officials across the country are working to maintain security amid the numerous attacks on the 2024 election, both at home and abroad. CNN's Brian Abel has more.
We have multiple layers of security around several systems.
Battleground Georgia, revealing Wednesday it successfully fended off a cyber attack this month from what officials there believe to be a foreign entity who targeted the state's absentee ballot request website. Though federal officials haven't yet confirmed its origin, it would be the latest in a slew of attempts by foreign adversaries to meddle in the 2024 election. Microsoft reporting it detected probing of election-related websites in multiple U.S. swing states by Iranian government-linked hackers in a possible effort to discover vulnerabilities. Iran denies the Microsoft assessment. Russia also reported to be at the forefront of misinformation campaigns attempting to influence the election. Just this week, U.S. intelligence assessed that Russian operatives created, then amplified false social media content meant to smear Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz. Officials are also combating homegrown misinformation intended to stoke fears of the election not being secure, including false claims that voting machines were flipping votes in states like Nevada and Georgia. A Georgia election official explaining how an inaccurate rumor started.
There was a senior citizen voter who printed her ballot and said, "Oh, this isn't who I chose." And they followed the procedure. They went to the poll manager. They said, "Let's go over here and we'll spoil this ballot. We'll let you vote again." She told a couple people that story. It turned into a post, and then it was picked up by other people and said machines are flipping votes, which is nobody claimed that actually happened.
Officials adding there is zero evidence of machines flipping votes. In Washington, Brian Abel.
As early voting continues, Vice President Harris and former President Trump are set to make their way to Texas. Harris will be accompanied by Beyonce in Houston tomorrow. Harris's campaign has already used Beyonce's song Freedom as its official anthem. While this is the first time Beyonce has openly endorsed Harris, she does have a history of endorsing Democratic candidates. And in Austin, Trump will hold a press conference to discuss border security and immigrant crime. This will be Trump's first appearance in Austin since 2022. He is expected to win Texas in this election, but both parties are eager to make their voices heard in the state as Democrats try to cut into the GOP's dominance. I'll have more political updates for you next week. For now, back to the desk.
Thanks, Ben. Well, Grace, the election does not seem to be the only thing heating up. It has been so warm recently.
Yes, and I am tired of this warm weather. I'm ready for it to feel like fall. Hopefully, our weather anchor, Aaron Erie, has some good news for us. Aaron?
Grace, we have autumnal winds, but summer temperatures. Currently in Denton, it's 86 degrees, but it feels more like 87. The wind's at 16 miles per hour, but as we move into the evening, the temperature and the wind speed will drop. It'll be 75 degrees this evening with an 11 mile per hour wind speed. Tomorrow, the sun will pack a punch once again at 88 degrees, but it's going to feel more like 89. That's all I have for First Look. Back to you both at the desk.
Thanks, Aaron. The first lawsuit against McDonald's as a result of their E. coli outbreak has been filed. CNN's Michael Yoshida has more information on this developing story.
A Colorado man is suing McDonald's for an E. coli outbreak linked to the Golden Arches' famous Quarter Pounders.
The hottest, juiciest Quarter Pounder yet.
According to the lawsuit, the man bought and ate food from his local McDonald's in early October. 2 days later, he got sick and ended up in the emergency room, and later was diagnosed with E. coli. The man's lawsuit accuses McDonald's of product liability, negligence, and breach of implied warranties.
Consumers go to restaurants not expecting to get poisoned.
Attorney Bill Marler is representing 2 patients who fell ill in Nebraska. So far, the E. coli outbreak has led to at least 49 illnesses in at least 10 different states, including 1 death. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration says beef patties or slivered onions on Quarter Pounder sandwiches are the likely source of the contamination.
If it is found that the onion supplier supplied them contaminated onions, so they can say, yes, it's my fault, I served you the hamburger, but the onion supplier needs to pay for it.
Sorry, we don't have the Quarter Pounders at the moment.
McDonald's has not responded to a request for comment about the lawsuit, but it has taken Quarter Pounders off the menu in about 1/5 of its stores. The fast food icon has also stopped using the onions and Quarter Pound beef patties in several states as the investigation continues.
I hope these steps demonstrate McDonald's commitment to food safety.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Coming up, will the Menendez brothers be released or continue their life sentence? A decision made today could decide their fate.
And a highly anticipated homecoming activity won't happen on campus tonight. We'll explain why in a live report.
Beef?
All adventurers, elves, and goblins, join us on a mighty quest October 30th at 7 p.m. in the Union Lyceum for live D&D at UNT. Enjoy a night of improv, giveaways, and live dungeon-inspired music.
Settings it down with milestone.
We'll meet 6 members of the Esper the Empire's special fleet.
A group of highly skilled magic users.
And melee fighters that work together to deal with wandering ghosts and spirits.
The dough is open at 6:30 p.m.
So make sure to dress the part and wear your best costume.
Join ntTV November 5th for the biggest night in American politics, with on-the-field reporting from the Capitol to campus, coverage from our social media audiences, opinions from a panel of experts, and an in-depth look at our state's most pressing issues. The presidential seat and the seat for Texas Senator are both on the ballot, and we will keep you up to date on those voting numbers. Watch our Your Choice 2024 election show live from 6 to 8 p.m. on Frontier 46, Charter 192, or at NorthTexasTelevision.com. Here to keep you covered and informed, we're North Texas Television.
Hey Alex, this guy on the internet says he wants to give me money.
That sounds suspicious.
What do you mean?
Typically, strangers who promise you money on the internet have their own best interest in mind. They often use bounce checks, which will disappear shortly after depositing, but not before they've asked for some money in return.
So he doesn't really want to spoil me?
No.
Well, then what should I do?
The best way to handle it is to block and report the suspicious message, or even consult local law enforcement if you've already fallen victim.
So I guess we aren't going to Key West for spring break.
No.
New tonight, prosecutors in Los Angeles have recommended that the Menendez brothers be resentenced in their high-profile double murder conviction. It's been nearly 30 years since Eric and Lyle Menendez were sentenced to life without parole for killing their parents in 1989. The brothers say their parents sexually abused them for years and they feared they would be killed so that other people never found out about it. The Menendez brothers case gained new notoriety recently after the release of a Netflix docuseries about the case. It's not clear if today's decision will allow them to be released from prison anytime soon.
One of the concerns about artificial intelligence is that it almost knows too much. But one university in Wisconsin thinks that's just fine because it's a great resource for students on campus. Ben Krumholtz has more on just what that Smarty Pants AI can really do.
Some students on the UW Green Bay campus weren't sure what to think when they first received a text message asking how they were doing with classes.
There was people posting on the Snapchat story saying, like, is this real? Like, are other people getting this? Is it a scam? And I still honestly don't even know.
The messages are from an AI chatbot the university is calling Flash, the name of the school's mascot.
I think people think the AI bot is the answer. It's actually not. It's the way that we open the doors to the university resources.
The goal is to help students with everything they need academically, emotionally, or perhaps something much more simple.
So questions about what's for dinner in the cafeteria tonight, to I'm bored, what's going on tonight, which will connect them to our events on campus, to I need help with a class.
In the first 24 hours, students sent the service more than 2,000 messages. In the first month, more than 7,000 messages. And the number that really has university officials excited is just 4% of students have opted out of the service, which exceeds the expectation that was set.
What we're finding in the early weeks of its usage is that students who haven't reached out to anyone on campus to ask a question are reaching out to Flash.
And if Flash doesn't have the answer, or perhaps someone needs help with something that would be better suited for a human, Flash will help make that connection.
I haven't asked any questions, but if it can give you help, give you resources like that for your mental health, I think that would be very useful.
And Flash is on duty 24/7 and checks in every 7 to 10 days. Now, just maybe if Flash, the AI advisor, was universal, more students would be heading to college. A new report says colleges are reporting a 5% drop in freshman enrollment across the nation. It's the first time that's happened since the pandemic. The problem is across the board, with public and private schools reporting a drop in freshmen. However, there is a positive for something for colleges. The number of students remaining in school is up compared to last year.
Well, Grace, those people skipping out on college don't know what they're missing, like homecoming.
That's right, and UNT was supposed to host a pretty fun event this evening, but we just learned is now not happening. Let's hand it over to our live shot reporter, Alexandria Teeters. Alexandria?
The iconic UNT homecoming bonfire was scheduled to happen at 8 p.m. tonight here at the Datku Stadium, but because it's so warm and windy, organizers had to postpone the big event. It has been rescheduled for tomorrow, so hopefully the weather cooperates on Friday night. This event is hosted by the Talons, who have kept our traditions alive since 1926. This decision just shows how hot and dry it's been in Denton for the past couple of weeks. Our weather anchor, Aaron Erie, has a look at the temperatures we can expect this weekend. Aaron?
Absolutely, Alex. It's certainly disappointing that we won't see that bonfire tonight, but it's not surprising because of these weather conditions. As we take a look at across North Texas, there is just one word for this, and that is hot. We'll be somewhere between the range of 87 and 91. We can see 91 in Graham, but 87 is going to be south in Stephenville, along with up north in Paris. Then as we move into our state map, it's the same story. 87 is the low across the state, and that is in Houston. But then we have our warms in El Paso and even north in Oklahoma City. As we move into the 7-day forecast, we will have warmer weather this weekend. On Saturday, it'll be 89 degrees with a low of 63. But as we move into the school week, the clouds will come in and hopefully bring that temperature down just a little bit. We do have a 58% chance of rain on Friday with stormy weather, a high of 81 and a low of 64. The anticipated rain will split up the record-breaking drought that North Texas has been experiencing. The DFW airport reported less than an inch of rain, and in Denton, we haven't seen precipitation in 28 days. The dry weather has created ideal conditions for fires, including the 2 industrial fires that erupted in Dallas County. According to a new National Weather Service report, some locations are experiencing the driest year of the new decade, including DFW Airport and Denton. Throughout the drought, several counties have issued burn bans and remind communities to make smart decisions with water conservation. I'm from the Great Lakes region, so I will certainly be looking forward to more precipitation in the future. But as rough as this dry weather is, there are ways to thrive tonight. UNT is showing how plants can survive year after year. Our reporter Ian Balderas is live at Legends Hall, where they're talking about zombies in the garden. Ian, is it a graveyard out there?
Thanks, Aaron. The We Mean Green Fund is getting into the Halloween spirit this year with an ecological twist. They're adding zombie plants to the community garden. The plant is called the Mimosa pudica, but is commonly known as the shame plant and is native to Central and South America. The plant's leaves are hypersensitive to touch, and the leaves close when disturbed. The plants also come back from the dead every year and have just come back to life in the community garden here at UNT. If you would like to see these plants, the Mean Green Fund is hosting an event here until 7 p.m. tonight. Another seasonal event is taking place this weekend. It's the Dia de los Muertos Festival. Melanie, what's going on down there?
Thanks, Ian. Denton's Dia de los Muertos Festival is a free, inclusive, and family-focused event, which will be making its spooky return this Friday through Sunday, and will be taking place in the Denton Square on East Hickory Street. A grassroots movement from the beginning, Denton's Dia de los Muertos Festival has grown immensely since its inception in 2011, with coffin races, a Twilight Lantern parade, costume contests, and of course great food, drinks, live music, and arts. The festival is a huge local favorite and one of Denton's biggest events, as the community comes together for culture and to pay homage to the beautiful themes coming this fall. I know exactly what I'll be doing this weekend. That's all I have today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Melanie. I'm excited for that colorful festival. On the other side of the break, we'll introduce to you the newest member of UNT's police force.
That's right, and we've got a look at a canine fashion trend that's quickly becoming a huge hit.
The do's and don'ts of the Pole Rec Center. See that man over there? Please do not hog weights. Instead, do this. Another important part is having an attentive spotter. See, here is an example of a non-attentive spotter. Instead, do this. Now we head to the track, which should be pretty easy, just it's important to pay attention to the way the track goes. Remember to wipe down the equipment after you're done using it. The towels are provided by the gym, so it's pretty easy to wipe down the equipment when you are done. Thank you for using the Pole Recreation Center.
A couple of months ago, we introduced you to Clover, the new canine puppy in training for the UNT Police Department. ntTV News Director Avery Callens is here in the studio with us. She got a chance to meet the cutest member of our school's police department. Avery, is she as cute in person as she is on screen?
Yes, Grace, I have absolutely fallen in love with her. This past week, Clover made her first appearance on campus, gracing stressed college students on their way to class. But there is so much more that goes into introducing an emotional support dog to campus. I talked with the UNT Police Department to find out what that process is like. Watch out, UNT students, because there's a new sheriff in town. Clover is the first community support dog at the University of North Texas Police Department, and her role is to provide emotional support and comfort to everyone working at or attending UNT. UNT PD Officer David Causey is responsible for raising and training her.
Watson and Keegan are both amazing, but we got them, they were already grown.
are a couple of years old and already been through a lot of training. So I think it's a really cool process to be able to see her.
And the process of selecting the right breed for an emotional support dog might be more complicated than you think.
So being a Labrador Retriever owner myself and having had a lot of Labrador Retrievers, they are a much more docile breed.
While her sworn UNTPD duty is to comfort students, she can't help but being a source of relief in the police department as well.
Or early in the morning, because she's got the little bells on her collar, so people will be in their office or in their cubicle, and you hear running down the hallway, and everybody's like, oh, there she is. Everybody starts kind of rolling out and looking for her and grabbing her and petting on her and stuff like that, and she runs on to somebody else. So it feels like it's really lightened the mood, made everybody enjoy their time at the PD more.
And she's even exciting UNT staff members outside of the police department, like with UNT Senior Communications Specialist Chelsea Gilbert and her office.
I believe it was about mid to late August, and to give you an idea, I stood up and yelled it around the office and got everybody excited.
And she will be starting her work here at the end of October, so make sure to not miss out on these paws on campus. With North Texas Television, I'm Avery Callens. Now, because Clover is still in her puppy phase, she's not working full-time yet, but you can keep up with the UNT PD Facebook page to see where she'll appear next. That's all the puppy business I have here. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Avery. So now we need to see if Clover might be up for a pair of snazzy Crocs. A few days ago, we reported on what looked like to be the must-have for pet owners, Crocs for dogs. And sure enough, it looks like canine fashion has become a major hit. The Crocs shoe company held a Croctober launch for their new kicks, and needless to say, the boots sold out in one day. The dog boots in 2 colors, pink and green, also come in human sizes, so you can partner with your pooch on long walks. Just a word of warning, the boots for your 4-pawed friends price out at $50 a pair, not quite the price of a new chew toy. Grace, are you excited for basketball season?
Well, it's hard not to be. As a North Texas native, I can't help but root for the Mavericks. Our sports anchor John Phillips is here with everything we need to know about the Mavs' first game of the season tonight. John?
That's right, guys. The Mavs open their season tonight, playing their in-state rivals, the San Antonio Spurs, in what should be the start to a big season. I'll have more on that and some other basketball action after the break.
Good evening, my name is Amanda Hasbell and I'm joining you here today in the Union Parking Garage. Today we're going to be going over how to drive safely in the parking garage. Let's go see. Oh my god, this girl just got hit by a car. Let's go see what happened. Ma'am, are you okay? Are you okay?
Did you see that lady hit me with a car?
Yeah, we did. I got it all on video.
Oh my god.
Let's go over here and talk about how we can prevent that.
Yeah, not the hospital.
Well, right now we're going to ask you a couple questions on how we can drive safely in the parking lot. What are ways that we can be aware of our surroundings?
Oh, we can look both ways.
Jenna, also, how about putting the distractions away?
Yes, just like our phones, turning our music down, and also not focusing on our passengers.
Where can you get information on how to get a parking pass?
Transportation.unt.edu.
If you park in a garage, make sure you pay on the app or look for further instructions on how you should pay.
And remember, no pass, no park. Let's all try to keep our mean green community safe.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
Looking to open a free checking or savings account but don't know where to start? Check out DebtQ Credit Union right here on campus. Get your mean green debit card instantly or apply for a DebtQ Visa credit card today. Your school, your card. Plus, make deposits at their 24/7 ATM, checks or cash whenever you need it. Make sure to sign up for DebtQ's online banking platform and mobile app for easy access anytime, anywhere. Visit them at www.datq.org to learn more. DatQ, the official financial institution of UNT Athletics.
On through the depths of ntTV studios, something special is brewing just for you.
Hey ghouls and goblins, ntTV News is having a special Halloween segment this October 31st. We're also covering 31 days of Halloween in Denton. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be spooktacular.
The Mavs opened their season with lofty expectations after reaching the NBA Finals last year and adding players like Klay Thompson and Najee Marshall. But they face a tough test tonight at 6:30 when phenom Victor Wembanyama and his San Antonio Spurs come to town. The addition of veteran leadership like Klay Thompson, who has winning in his blood, on top of superstar Luka Doncic, should bolster the Mavs' chances at winning the title this year, despite tough competition from teams like the Celtics and the Thunder. The Spurs only won 22 games last year, but if Wembanyama takes the leap to a clear top 10 player and Defensive Player of the Year candidate like expected, the Spurs could be a lot better. But with Devin Vassell injured tonight, the Mavs should have an easy win. In a year of change and growth for the WNBA, it's only fitting that one of the 3 league originals ever wins its first ever title. The New York Liberty won the WNBA's first ever finals Game 5 to go to overtime, as the city won its first basketball championship since 1973, with 2021 WNBA MVP Jonquel Jones taking home her first ever finals MVP. They were rewarded for this monumental achievement with a parade through New York's famous Canyon of Heroes today. And New York City Mayor Eric Adams also gifted the team a key to the city, while the players spoke about their hopes to repeat next year. And speaking of winners, one of the most iconic jerseys in sports history hit the auction block yesterday. The game-worn Michael Jordan Red Bulls road jersey from the 96-97 title-winning season has been put up as part of Sotheby's colossal Ultimate Jordan collection. Jordan wore this jersey during his infamous flu game in the 1997 NBA Finals and for the 5 months prior to that. This is incredibly rare in the sports memorabilia world because Jordan often wore the same jersey for months at a time. And this is the only May Gray authenticated red jersey from Jordan's first 5 championships that we've seen in the public yet. And it sold for $10.1 million, the most expensive piece of game-worn memorabilia ever. Time for me to go catch the Mavs game. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, John. Hey, Grace, do you ever eat goldfish crackers?
Yes, all the time, but I actually heard they're not being called goldfish these days. Pepper Ridge Farms is now calling the famous cracker Chilean sea bass in hopes that more sophisticated name will draw in its audience. The cracker will look and taste the same.
The rebranded snacks will be available for 1 week starting on Wednesday, and they're only going to be sold online.
Thanks for watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us again next week here on North Texas Television.